Welcome. I'm Cassandra McLean, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about my personal journey into arriving into the career of hypnotherapy. So, at age 17, I started talk therapy with his name was Stu, and Stu was great. I loved having Stu in my life. I'd go in and I'd talk to him about all my thoughts and my feelings, and I would cry, and he would give me some wonderful feedback. And so I began my interest. Actually, it started much earlier than that, but a lifelong interest into the mind and the self, and how do we understand why are we the way that we are. And it's so interesting to analyze things, and what could that dream mean. I've just always loved these topics. So I spent the next 17 plus years in the world of all of these topics. I was in a PhD program for clinical psychology. I believed that that would be my path. I always saw myself as a therapist. But inside of that program, I became quickly disillusioned within the first 2 years. I felt like, wow, I'm really just being trained in how to diagnose what's wrong with people. It was really like heavy on, you have to know the DSM. This is how we administer assessments. This is how you process paperwork. I'm like, I want to help people nourish their souls. It was not the right program for me, so I left. I then entered into the field of neurofeedback, which is also called neurotherapy or applied clinical neuroscience, which is very exciting. And you put electrodes on, and you see your brainwaves on the screen, and you're changing your brainwave patterns in real time, and you can watch it. And I worked with one of the top experts in the field of neurofeedback in the country. And I personally have trained my brain over 250 sessions of neurofeedback, which is quite a lot. A typical run is going to be between 30 and maybe 50. So I have a very well trained brain from that perspective. And I've done life coaching, and I've done all sorts of meditations and retreats, yoga, all of it. And still, here I am thinking I'm doing everything right. I'm so interested. I know myself so well. And yet I found myself in a total breakdown after what was kind of, I think I was in denial of like a very long-term low-grade depression. I ended up divorced against my wishes. I did not want to be divorced. I was divorced. And that put me into this time of my life, really a very deep low point of suicidal despair. And so here I am thinking, how can I be this educated, have this much experience, had spent so many thousands of dollars and hundreds, if not thousands of hours of my life to be this like informed, psychologically knowledgeable person, and end up like this? This is terrible. So in a critical moment of my life, I sent up a prayer in which I declared, I'm going to get real spiritual real fast. And after that, the very next day, I discovered the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, or the IIH, and the work of Matthew Brownstein, who is the Zen monk and master hypnotist who curated the curriculum of that school. And within starting the work of hypnotherapy, working with graduates of that school, getting into the meat of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, I completely transformed my way of being. And so that is really an honest introduction, so that you know that I am biased. This is a biased talk on the differences between talk therapy and hypnotherapy. I'm going to do my best to present to you also, not impartially, but this is my story and how I ended up in hypnotherapy, because many, many things did not work for me, and hypnotherapy has worked for me. And I find that with my clients, it's a pretty common story. I tried all these things, then I found hypnotherapy. Now I finally have relief from all my problems. So maybe not all, but many. Keep doing the work and you keep getting the solutions. So what's the point of doing any type of therapy, whether it be hypnotherapy or talk therapy? Why even be here? To understand the answer to that, right? That the immediate answer is, well, my mind, right? Something's going on in my mind. I recognize it at the level of mind. I'm not thinking the way that I want to be thinking, or feeling the way that I want to be thinking. I feel trapped inside of my own head, and my thoughts are a sort of kind of thought that is not helpful to me, or is even harmful to me, or against my loved ones. There's all sorts of things we know happen in the mind. And so, okay, I'm going to get into therapy so I can think more clearly and feel in a more aligned with my values kind of feeling way. But the thing that you want to understand is very nicely illustrated here. in the iceberg metaphor, your conscious mind is 5% of your total mind. And that may even be a generous estimation. 5% might be more than the actual number. Your subconscious mind is really, it's everything. Talk therapy uses rational insight to have a conversation with your conscious mind. This is where we analyze, we apply logic, we think about, I'm going to use my strength of will. The next time that I'm mad at my wife, I'm really committed that I'm not going to yell this time. My willpower will get me there. But if it's 5% and you've got 95% pushing towards a pattern to repeat itself, we all know how that goes. I swear this time I'm not going to eat that chocolate cake. There you are eating it. Then you're in cycles of shame, of guilt, all of these cycling. And it's all happening in the level of the subconscious. So with hypnotherapy, we are bypassing the conscious mind by putting it into a state of profound relaxation. Hypnosis is simply a state of profound mental and physical relaxation. And the more relaxed your mind gets, that part of your mind which we really identify with, this is me, this voice in my, this is who I am, but it's just very loud. That's all. It's actually not the majority, and it's not your identity, and it's not who you are. We get that voice to relax and get quiet. And then in this magical state called hypnosis, we can just put that voice off to the side and go into what has been hidden, because that loud voice has been hiding it and concealing it. So now what's been hidden is no longer hidden, and we can go in and see, okay, what's really happening in there. And not only can we see what's happening in there, we can create changes that immediately take effect. You don't need to use willpower with hypnotherapy. You do the work in your subconscious, and then you just get to experience the results. That's the magic of this work. So what's living in your subconscious? Beliefs, emotions, your intuition, your imagination, creativity, long-term memory, including memories that you don't think that you have them. We can access them in hypnosis. Automatic reactions to things when you feel triggered. What's being triggered? Something within your subconscious mind. Your core sense of identity, your core sense of confidence, of self-worth, your habits, your patterns, your addictions, your compulsions, and all the patterns that drive your life are living in your subconscious mind. So this has sort of been, I've touched upon this, but we can look at this table and just start to look at the differences. Talk therapy addresses your conscious mind. Hypnotherapy goes into your subconscious, but the way that I facilitate and have been trained in facilitation, of course, we bring conscious mind integration and have conversations that we're not just going into hypnosis, doing something, and then I send you home. We're going to bring your conscious mind in and have that sense of total alignment and integration. Let's see. Also in hypnotherapy, we're often using NLP techniques. If you're familiar with NLP, I'll just leave it at that. If not, for the sake of time, I really won't be able to get into it. But ultimately, it's using the power of your imagination to create your reality, and then through those imaginative techniques, recreate your reality in the way that you would like it to be. So there are strengths to talk therapy, and this is certainly not a talk of me bashing talk therapy. I like talk therapy. I like it fine. I think it has some value. I do like having intellectual insight into, oh, why am I the way that I am? Or maybe this connects to what happened in my childhood. I like thinking about things. And a talk therapist provides some emotional support. So may your hypnotherapist. But the hypnotherapist is really accessing that all the wisdom and knowledge that you need to solve your problems really truly does live within you. And the hypnotherapist is your guide to find it. It's hidden. Many people say, no, I don't know what to do. You tell me what to do. You just think you don't know what to do, or you think you don't know what to think or how to act or how to be. You definitely know. You know. You just don't know that you know, because it's hidden. So the hypnotherapist tends to be a much more empowering presence as a therapist. So hypnotherapy is also going to produce faster results. If I see someone for 6 sessions and they're not like, wow, I've had a bunch of breakthroughs, they're not going to be responsive to my modality. The gradual, slow, let's see each other week by week over years and years, that's going to be your traditional talk therapist. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Many people need someone that they can simply talk to openly and freely and be in their conscious mind and just relax into a space of speaking freely about their life. That's very valuable. That is not what we're going to do in hypnotherapy. You're not just going to talk to me and then my husband said this and then I said that and then I called my mom and she said this. I won't let you do that because we have time limited and I need you to go into trance so we can really get to the root of these problems. So do you want to go to the root or do you want to have a conversation in the leaves and the fruits of your tree? There's nothing right or wrong either way, just understanding the differences of where we're going and what the results will be. So the typical results in talk therapy are that you feel relieved when you get to just go and I just got to get all this stuff off my chest. Sometimes I just want to vent to somebody. Don't just let me say what I got to say. Great. Do that with your talk therapist, to explore your history, to just chat about things, to feel like I understand myself better. I'm connecting the dots. To get a name or a label, or in some cases, a diagnosis can be very helpful for people. I don't know what this is. It's this. You have this, says your psychologist or psychiatrist. Wow, just knowing that it's something that exists that other people deal with, there's literature on it, that can be very relieving. And then the talk therapist is generally using something like CBT or DBT or other modalities, which ultimately say, you have this problem, and we have a way that you can manage it and still live a good life while you have this problem. My approach as a hypnotherapist is, sure, you have that problem. Let's resolve it. I am not into the coping model at all. I don't believe in coping with problems. I believe in transforming and resolving problems and then being in a state of freedom. So there's a little bit more on that. I'm being conscious of time because I am going to give you all a little taste of what we call direct suggestion therapy. So a session of hypnotherapy, especially the way that I do it, is not merely passive. So what I will offer you in a few minutes, I think we're set to start at 6:35, is I will do some light induction. You'll go into this relaxed state called hypnosis. And then I will say some very nice things to you in a way that it will enter your subconscious mind directly and just start seeding and sinking in. And you will leave this call feeling much better, however much better manifests for you today. Though I do want that it's clear that in interactive one-on-one sessions, it is not, and in my opinion, professionally, should not be merely passive where you go into a trance and your therapist just talks to you. The real magic of the work is having an interactive dialogue with your subconscious mind. And what that looks like and what that feels like is that conscious part of you that we relaxed away, that sense of identity, that sense of self, we just relaxed it off to the side. That part of you is listening to what's coming out of your mouth and going, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that I'm saying these things. And that's really coming out of me. My inner child isn't something that I've just thought, I have this inner child. Maybe she's like this. She is speaking through my mouth right now, and this is what she has to say. That is really the magic. So know that when we say, what is hypnotherapy? The way that I'm trained and facilitated, it's very powerful, interactive work where you're in a trance, but your subconscious mind gets to speak for itself, not speak through the filter of who you already think you are and think about things and opinions and decisions. And this is what I know. That's holding you back. You want to put that to the side and let what's really, truly in the depths of your being rise to the surface and speak for itself. Now, what you'll see in this yellow box, it says write in the chat. Please, I invite you to write into the chat box, because I will be guiding you through what I'm calling passive experience. You will not be interacting or speaking back with me, but I will simply give you what we call a hypnotic induction. So that means some very gentle suggestions, like your first suggestion might be to just close your eyes down. Don't do it yet, but it's coming soon. And then once you get into the habit of taking these suggestions and getting more and more relaxed, and the suggestions are designed to help you feel more and more relaxed, more and more relaxed, then I will say some beautiful things to you. And I invite you to think now, what would you like to hear if you didn't have what we call the critical factor? So if you think that you're, I don't like saying even hypothetically bad things about people, but let's say you think you're ugly. And I tell you, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Your conscious mind is like, I know I'm not, I know I'm not, I know I'm not. But when hypnosis and with a particular way of designing with language, the suggestions, that belief that you are truly beautiful, the essence of who you are is of course beautiful. And more with each and every day, you feel the natural beauty of who you are coming through. It will penetrate. So knowing that we're going to need to get some beautiful suggestions into your subconscious mind this very night, I invite you to write into the chat any suggestions or affirmations that you would like to hear. The last thing I'll mention on this slide is that hypnotherapy is especially effective for trauma, habits, phobias, anxiety, grief, and self-worth issues. That being said, hypnotherapists know that the bread and butter of our practice is weight loss and smoking cessation or quitting smoking. So if I can have someone come to me who says, I've been smoking a pack of cigarettes every day for 28 years, and I'm really ready to quit. And 3 sessions later, that person has no interest in cigarettes. There's no willpower, there's no patches, there's no gums, no, it's just 3 sessions. I don't even think about smoking. I'm not a smoker. If we can do that with smoking, which we know is a physical super addiction with chemical, there's lots of science, the chemicals are all documented. If I can do that with a cigarette smoker, imagine what I can do with something like I'm lacking confidence, or I'm just like really sad all the time. I've personally experienced the magic of hypnotherapy. I had a background of suicidal ideation from age 12 to 35. That's gone. Now I don't have it. Now I have a background of I love life. This is what's possible with hypnotherapy. And as you learned from my story, talk therapy was never, ever, ever going to get me there. All right. But when is talk therapy right for you? So talk therapy is going to be right for you if you're in the early stages of, I never really did this therapy thing. I don't know. If you're like kind of resistant, kind of new to the world of exploring your own mind, talk therapy is really a great place to start. It's a place to start having conversations in a style you've never had before, being more self-reflective. If you're someone who doesn't really have good practices of self-care, I mean, that's something that I can help you with, but it's going to be a nice time to start talk therapy to get the ball rolling on what will be your transformation. And it's also good if you're in an acute crisis and you need stabilization. Again, I'm like, asterisk, I can help you with that too, but all right, when else is it nice time to try talk therapy? If you just want a reasonable and impartial person to talk things out with in a safe space. As I said earlier, sometimes it's just good to have somebody to talk to. If you identify as fragile or severely traumatized, this is someone I will refer out to a colleague. My work can be very, very deep, and you have to have at least some sense of I can handle it. Grief and life transitions, again, an asterisk. I happen to specialize in that in hypnotherapy. However, it's really a hairy mix when we're dealing with grief and major life transitions, and having that consistency of someone to talk it out with in the conscious mind is very helpful. Great time to be in talk therapy is with grief and life transitions. And lastly, one of the questions that I ask my clients is, are you ready to give this up? When they're saying, okay, why did you come here today? What's bothering you? How can I help you? Well, it's this. This is my issue. Okay. Are you ready to give it up? Sometimes the honest answer is no. And it's like, okay, if you're not ready for change, then you're not ready for change. There's nothing right or wrong. You are where you're at. That's a great place to be. Just be where you are. Be present with your truth in each and every moment. If you're not really ready for change, you just want to vent, or you want to get sympathy, or you just want to sit in how you feel and not move the needle on it, or just move the needle a little bit, but not dramatically transform, I fully support that you acknowledge that that's where you're at. And when you're really like, okay, I've had enough of this, now I'm ready for transformation, then you can move from talk therapy to hypnotherapy. Now, I think for the sake of time, I'm going to skip it, but this box is very interesting, this study that came out. What I will say about this is that in talk therapy, because we're recalling memories from the conscious mind, the way that memory works from a very robustly established, scientifically validated way, each time you recall a memory with your conscious mind, you're changing it a little bit. So the more you recall the same memory, you're just changing it. You're remembering the last time you changed it and changing it again. Then you recall it again, you're remembering the last time you changed it. We don't feel that. No, it's real. I know it. It's really this way. The way that you feel it, not the way that it is. So where does this differ in hypnotherapy? Because you're not remembering it. When we're in hypnosis and activating a memory, the memory is alive again right now. And then we are distorting it intentionally by filling it with love and forgiveness and understanding and peace. And that is where magical resolution comes from. So when is hypnotherapy right for you? So if you're like me and you've already tried a whole bunch of other therapies and you're like, where's my transformation? Where are my results? Why do I keep paying you, but I only feel a little bit better? Come to hypnotherapy. You'll be feeling a lot better real fast. Also, hypnotherapy is right for you if you have this awareness, this self-awareness. You understand, oh, I'm like this because of that. Sometimes I just freak out because when I was a child, I was abused. Oh, I know about it, and I'm still repeating these habits anyway. Okay, so insight has a limit. It's interesting to know, but when it comes down to brass tacks, the moment of being triggered, you're going right back into those old patterns, or maybe not as deeply, but you're still mostly in them. But then your conscious mind, that little 5% of your willpower is like, I could do better. I know I can. If it feels like a struggle, hypnotherapy doesn't feel like a struggle. Hypnotherapy feels like, wow, I just get to be different now. Like a magic wand, just like, I don't like the smoker. Like, I'm just not even interested in cigarettes. I don't have to keep a journal about it or get some gums and join a support. I just don't have that interest anymore. That's what transformation feels like. So if you're ready for serious, powerful change, this would be when hypnotherapy is right for you. Kevin, I saw you pop off of mute. So
I just wondered if you could read the comments, because a few people commented on what they'd like you to do. I mean, we still have 5 minutes if you want to wait, but I just want to make sure.
I don't have the bar open, but I imagine that I can when
okay,
I
good.
close
No, I
down
don't
the
want to rush
slideshow.
You're good.
Thank you.
Just checking.
And I think we're just, this is just my last slide before we go into it. So I will read those comments. Thank you, Kevin. So lastly, why does hypnotherapy work? Because the mind doesn't change through insight alone, which we all know. I'm very confident that everybody in this room already knows that. Understanding why you have a problem can be helpful. It can be helpful, but it doesn't equal a resolution to your problems. Subconscious reprogramming is required for a true shift. Now, I've put an asterisk next to the word reprogramming because reprogramming right now, I've noticed, is becoming a real buzzword. Everybody and their mother is like, reprogram, rewire, reprogram. And I'm like, what are you actually doing? And they're like, join my masterclass where you can fill out this PDF and answer some journaling prompts to rewire your mind. And oh man, that really makes me angry because that is not what it means to reprogram your subconscious mind. Subconscious reprogramming happens in hypnotherapy. Why does it work? Because when you're in this altered state, which again, I'll repeat, hypnosis is a natural yet altered state of mind. It's natural in that there's no drugs or chemicals. And in fact, you do enter a state of hypnosis estimated between 3 and 13 times per day, you just don't realize that you're in this natural yet altered state of mind. When you're in hypnosis, your subconscious mind becomes open and receptive to receive suggestions. Now, with me, I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a spiritual being. I'm here for your benefit. That's my the only thing I do in my work is help people achieve greater inner peace, more love, a better sense of well-being. That's what I do. If you go to see a hypnosis stage show in Las Vegas, they have a different agenda. The agenda is we're going to create entertainment. We're going to put on a show. So the state of mind called hypnosis is activated, and the purpose and intention is very different. You're also in a state of hypnosis when you're like vegged out on the couch and you're just like watching something, maybe TV, or now it's more on the phone. And marketers and advertisers know this. That's why you end up, why do I want to buy Tide so much when the bottle of detergent that costs half as much is actually just as effective? I just got to buy Tide because you've been hypnotized by Tide. You will learn, if you choose to engage and embark on this journey of hypnotherapy, how to understand when you're in this state of mind, how to use it for your own benefit so that you're not only relying on the deep level of work of one-on-one custom sessions with a professional. You can do self-hypnosis. You can bring yourself into hypnosis intentionally for your own benefit. And you can also simply know, oh, I'm in hypnosis right now. I better watch out and not let any untoward intentions enter my realm, or I can consciously kick them out. You become just more of a master of your own mind, remembering that mind is not that 5% consciousness that is where your ego identity lives. It's this whole totality, the 95 plus the 5, the total mind that creates who you are, how your life looks, sounds, feels, the relationships you have, how you approach your job, how you go to sleep at night, how you wake up in the morning, what you think when you look in the mirror, all of that and more. The totality of all of that you can be a master of simply by understanding what is hypnosis, when you're in it, how to use it intentionally, and most importantly, doing really rich, fulfilling one-on-one work with a professional. And with that, yeah, okay, I have 2 minutes. So I will mention the critical factor. So hypnosis, which we can call trance, it's simply a synonym, is effective. Why does hypnotherapy work? It's effective because it bypasses what we call the critical factor. So earlier I used this example of if someone believes that they're ugly and then you tell them, no, you're not, you're very beautiful. There's a block. It's just not going to enter. And we call it in this field the critical factor. And it forms somewhere between ages like 7 and 12. By 12, it's definitely formed. This is why children are so impressionable, we say about children, because they have no critical factor. Now, when the critical factor formed, it may have formed with some beliefs that are simply not true. It may have formed with beliefs that were conclusions drawn from very traumatizing experiences of that child, or not even very traumatizing, just confusing to a young child, just a confusing moment where they felt maybe embarrassed or just, so I did something wrong. And now this belief has been formed. It must be because I'm to blame for my parents' divorce, or something formed that maybe it's true, maybe it's not. True isn't so interesting to us in our work as much as, is it helpful? Are the things you believe about yourself helping you live the life you really want for yourself? Is it helping you have nurturing, fulfilling relationships? Is it helping you feel fulfilled in the work that you do? Is it helping you have the confidence and motivation to take on the projects and activities and hobbies and being the contribution to society that you know you can be and want to be? Is the things you believe, the things you're thinking, the things you're feeling, the patterns you're stuck in, are they helpful for you to be in alignment with your highest and best life? If not, let's clear them and replace them and transform you. So with that, I'll take a moment and just see if there are any questions. Are there any questions? I can reopen, I think, the main way of looking at Zoom here. Chat pod is popping off. Love it. If you have a question, you can raise your digital hand and we can unmute you.
Since I have a moment, just since I'm one of the hosts and I can just butt in with a question. I was going to say I did really like what you were saying with talk therapy about how having somebody neutral to bounce ideas around, because I feel like that's when it's been best for me, is when I don't know what I want and I just want to kind of get the opinion of somebody without like forcing one of my friends to listen to me complain about something for an hour, and it's kind of nice, and then you get some rest. Now then when I actually want to fix something, I feel like hypnotherapy is a better course too, so that struck a chord with me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I really do want to be clear that I'm not bashing talk therapy, but I will boldly assert that the value, in my experience, I'm just not finding return on investment. But I may be very lucky because I have friends that I can call and I'm going to say, I want to talk to you for 90 minutes, Diane. And I'm just going to talk about how I feel about this. And Diane will listen to me. Now, I can't abuse Diane. I can't call her every day. I can't call her once a week with that. If I needed that weekly thing, I would hire a talk therapist. But paying out of pocket, the last talk therapist that I saw was a counselor for marriage counseling. Remember, I did get divorced. He charged $275 for a 50-minute session. And what was my return on that investment? Yeah. Was it useful at the time? Was it nice to talk to him? I guess. But ROI, I was left disappointed. The way that I work is like, I want that my clients want to pay me more. I want that they're like, I can't believe what a deal this was. You changed my life. That's my goal with every single client in every single session. So with that,
just really quickly, I remember being in college and seeing a therapist, like a talk therapist, and she recommended 4 days a week for years at a time. It was like psychoanalysis. And even at like 21, I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not like, my parents and I are not going to pay like $500 a week to you for this amount. Like this is, and it was something that was really not a big deal. And like, I look back, but yeah.
So I'm trying to stop sharing and it's like not letting me. Oh, here it is. Okay. I want to stop sharing because I want to take these, what's in the chat pod and just put it in a document so that it will be easier for me to read this into you, to you guys. But as I take a moment to do this, I invite you wherever you are to just get even more comfortable. If that means moving to an armchair or a sofa, or even if you want to lie down in your bed, because we're going to have about 15-20 minutes of an inward journey where you'll be feeling very relaxed and leave here feeling much better. So I see some weight loss desires, so we can just have you feeling really good in your body. Lisa says, hypnotherapy is truly amazing. Trust the process. Diana says, I follow my own inner compass. I love it. Definitely. Okay, great. I've got those. Thank you for contributing to your own experience. And I'm going to trust now that all of our guests have arrived into a place, perhaps a chair or a couch, where you can just relax. And remembering that hypnosis is not something that I do to you. Hypnosis is something that I do with you. And our only goal here tonight is to feel good, to feel even better, to feel relaxed, and to generate some inner peace. And knowing that that's the only reason that I'm here with you now, I invite you to follow my suggestions, some light directions. And the first direction or instruction or suggestion will simply be to take a big breath in And exhale twice as slowly. And if you haven't already, you can close your eyes down now. And with those eyes closed down, roll your eyes up into your forehead and gaze into the space above and between your two physical eyes. And as you do, just imagine as if you're gazing into the night sky, perhaps seeing some sparkling or twinkling stars in that blue-black space of your forehead. And as you gaze there with those eyes rolled gently up, imagine that there in the center of your mind, you can find a bright, full moon. And just gaze there at that beautiful moon as you now take a big breath in. Inhale fully and completely. Inhale. And on your exhale, slowly exhale and repeat to yourself, relax now. Good. And take another big breath in as you continue gazing at that moon. Fill your lungs completely. And on your exhale, slowly think to yourself, relax now. Good. And one more time, take a big breath in. Inhale deeply, fully, and completely. Those eyes rolling up. When your lungs are filled, you can pause. Just hold your breath for a moment and notice as you hold your breath how your mind grows still now. And exhaling slowly now. Repeat to yourself, relax now. And breathe normally as you continue gazing at the full moon with those eyes rolled up gently in your forehead. I'm going to count backwards now, down from 5 to 1. And when I get to the number 1, your inner gaze will relax and you will completely let go, entering a state of deeper hypnosis. For now, on number 5, just continue gazing at the moon as if nothing else matters now. And down to number 4. Gazing at that beautiful moon. Notice what you notice there. As we count down to number 3. Feeling more relaxed. Staying right here in the present moment with the sound of my voice. Down on number 2, take another big breath in and fill your lungs. And now on number 1, exhale and just let go. And allow yourself to drop into deeper levels of relaxation. And breathe normally. And just as you were imagining that bright full moon, you can now imagine that moonlight, that beautiful full moon is shining above your head. You might imagine the moonlight as an orb of light, or you might imagine it as the moon, or you might imagine an orb of another color light, whatever color is most soothing and peaceful to you. Just imagine that hovering above your head is an orb of beautiful, soothing light. And in a moment, this orb of light will begin to move down over your body, and as it does, it will put each part of your body that the light touches, you put into a state of deep relaxation. So beginning now at the top of your head, you can feel the touch of this soothing light beginning to pass down over the top of your head and over your brow and down the back of your head. And the light touches now over your eyes, and all the little muscles around your eyes relax now. And the light even penetrates behind your eyes and into your brain, this beautiful, soothing, peaceful light, mixing with the electricity of your brain to become even more relaxed now. And the light continues down over your nose and cheeks, down over your ears, so that everything you hear sounds peaceful, and into your jaw, just releasing and relaxing, and down into your throat, and the back of your neck, even the root of your tongue, releasing and relaxing. And the light continues down, down over your shoulders, over your breastplate and your upper back. Feel the soothing orb of light penetrating, relaxing you part by part, piece by piece, such that each part of your body that the light touches, you put into a state of profound relaxation. And feel now how the light swirls in your shoulders and begins to move down your arms, those big muscles of your arms releasing and relaxing. The light moving down through your elbows and into your forearms, releasing and relaxing. And feel that touch of light through your wrists, entering your hands, and all 10 fingers releasing and relaxing, part by part, piece by piece. This orb of light continues now through your chest, entering your lungs and your heart. That soothing touch, that peaceful feeling, entering your middle back and moving down through your ribs, down your abdomen, releasing and relaxing. The light moving down your lower back and into your belly. Feel the soothing touch of light, relaxing part by part, piece by piece, moving down into your hips, into your pelvic area, relaxing, relaxing down into your glutes and thighs, those big muscles unwinding, releasing and relaxing. As that warm light energy continues down your legs, through your knees, and behind your knees, just releasing and relaxing. The light continuing down through your calves and shins. That peaceful touch, releasing and relaxing. Continuing down, down through your ankles, down into your feet, the tops of your feet and the soles of your feet and all 10 toes of your feet, releasing and relaxing even deeper now. And you can imagine now your whole body is enveloped in this safe, soothing orb of light. And as you breathe in, you breathe even more deeply this soothing, peaceful feeling. And relax even more now from skin down to bone. That's right. And as you feel this deep quality of relaxation, bring your attention to your eyelids and simply say to yourself, I am turning my eyelids off. I am turning my eyelids off so that they just don't work. And as you feel those eyelids so heavy and so relaxed, you can even test now, like you're testing a door that's already been locked. You can try to open your eyelids and find that they just don't work because you have turned your eyelids off. And just as you have done that, you have the power to accomplish all sorts of marvelous and wonderful things within your body and mind. So relax now even more deeply. Stop trying. Return your attention to the spacious feeling around you and just drop even deeper within, knowing that now that you are in this very relaxed state, you are in the perfect place for your deep inner mind to be open now. Your deep inner mind is open now, open to receive and respond to powerful, positive suggestions, affirmations, and images that instantly become true for you now. So now you can feel that every day, in every way, it is easier and easier for you to relax. Every day, in every way, it is easier and easier for you to relax. Every day, in every way, it is easier and easier now for you to relax. And you know that when you are relaxed and calm, you make better decisions. Knowing that when you are relaxed and calm, you make better decisions. Knowing that when you are relaxed and calm, you make better decisions. You feel happy now, knowing that it's easier and easier for you to relax. You feel happy now, knowing that it's easier and easier for you to relax now. You feel happy knowing you have access to this state of relaxation where it's easier and easier to make good decisions. You can see yourself now at home, at peace with yourself, making better and better decisions. And in this state of calm relaxation, you can really see yourself making a huge difference in the lives of the people in your world. When you're calm and relaxed and making good decisions, you make a huge difference in the lives of the people in your world. You make a huge difference in the lives of others. And you now have the courage and confidence to make an even bigger difference in the lives of your clients, and yourself, and your friends and family. You now feel how easy it is to access within the courage and confidence to make an even bigger difference in the lives of your clients, yourself, your friends and family. Feel it. Feel that access within to courage and confidence. You can now feel yourself more and more confident because you're here now doing this. You have the evidence. You are someone who makes good decisions. You take care of yourself. You invest in yourself. You make good decisions and invest in yourself. And this is every reason to have courage and confidence in who you are. You are the type of person who takes good care of yourself. You invest your time in improving yourself, and you are committed to making a huge difference in the lives of your clients, yourself, your friends and family. And in this state of confidence and calm relaxation, you can even feel into your body and know you have the power to live confidently in the body that you love, taking the size and shape and weight that you love, that you feel best in, that you feel healthy and happy and capable within yourself. You now follow your own inner compass towards greater wealth and happiness. You stay true to your own course, knowing that right where you are in this step is right where you need to be on your path. Just follow your own inner compass, and you are destined to discover greater wealth and happiness. Just follow your own inner compass, and you know you are on your path, aligned with your destiny of greater wealth and happiness, courage and confidence, and making a huge, important, positive difference in the world. And with that, I will now begin counting up from 1 to number 5. And when I get to number 5, you will be back here now, back in the room around you, back to your normal, regular waking consciousness on number 1, trusting that everything that you just heard has already sunk deeply into your deep inner mind and is immediately and automatically becoming true for you. On number 2, trusting you will sleep very well tonight as your subconscious continues to digest this information. On number 3, you're feeling rested and refreshed. You remember this entire session and you know you can return to this state anytime you wish. On number 4, coming back more and more now, feel as if cool spring water is washing over your face. You can feel your eyes are now sparkling with greater clarity. And 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5, eyes opening wide awake, back to your normal, regular waking consciousness, feeling great. Now, folks, that puts us at 7:01, so I apologize for being a minute over time. If you need to hop off right away, you are welcome to, although I invite you to stay for just a couple more minutes as we close out this session together. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
I'm so glad. Oh, I'm glad I'm getting comments in the chat pod that people are feeling good. I will just pop up once again. Oh, maybe I closed it out. Well, I would like to invite you all to book a session with me. Anyone who's here today who'd like to do some one-on-one work, I'm offering a 10% discount for just my gratitude for sharing this live session with me. Of course, that applies to you as well, Kevin. And my website is McLeanhypnotherapy.com. I've put it right up here in my window. And through McLeanhypnotherapy.com, you can find me on social media. I'm Get Hypnotherapy on Instagram. And you can book right there. Just leave a note that you attended this session, and I will be sure to honor the discount that I offer to you. Are there any closing comments or questions? I'm checking out the chat pod, just a lot of thank yous. I'm so glad. You're very welcome.
I did have a question, more of like what you would react, because I remember we posted this on Reddit, just if people were interested. And one of the comments was that I thought was interesting was like, well, hypnotherapy is talk therapy. They're like the same things. I found very strange because I think in the popular consciousness, they're very different things. But they were saying essentially that like hypnotherapy is a tool, but it's sort of like within talk therapy. Like I found personally, I mean, not to like denigrate the person, but I found that to be kind of like a splitting hairs distinction. I mean, in the popular consciousness, these things seem like very two different very things. I just wondered if you had a thought about that or happened to notice.
Sure. So I think what that person may have been alluding to is that psychologists or psychiatrists or counselors can also practice hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So you can go to a talk therapist who also practices hypnotherapy. Now, with that, I want to make a distinction. This is a relatively unregulated field. So sometimes people study hypnosis and then they say, I'm a hypnotherapist. I can help you with your anxiety, or I can help you with blah, 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 blah. And you want to be real careful. You can get a lot of cool work done and people doing NLP, and there's a lot of talents out there. You know, I don't want to discourage anyone from helping others, but when you were talking about depression, anxiety, personality disorders, anything that might be diagnosed or maybe should be or has been diagnosed, you want to work with somebody who's been through a rigorous certificate program. And even that, I'm saying a rigorous program. So I've received the most comprehensive training available in the United States. Some people just go for a weekend, you get an online certificate. There's that much of a spectrum. So, and then you might say, oh, here's a psychiatrist who has 30 years experience in medicine and also went and got a hypnotherapy. That person is phenomenally qualified, right? So it's just a huge spectrum. And as to your point, are talk therapy and hypnotherapy the same? Clearly not. Talk therapy is one conscious mind talking to another conscious mind. Hypnotherapy is at least one person is talking from their subconscious, as you haven't noticed because your eyes were closed, but when I'm guiding, I am in a very light state of trance. The premise of the school of interpersonal hypnotherapy, because we are founded by a Zen monk, it's very spiritually aligned work. Now, I'll make a caveat and say my personal definition of spirituality is what are peace and love to you? And what are the practices and things that tools that you have that help you have more peace and love in your life? That's what spirituality is to me. But there's also this dimension of what, being in spirit or identifying more spiritually than egoically. And I'm in a light state of trance when I'm facilitating, because I'm really opening that my intuition is connected, where sometimes I'll just say something and I'm like, I've never said that to anybody in a session before. And it's exactly what that person needed to hear. So when I say talk therapy is one conscious mind to another conscious mind, hypnotherapy is at least one of these two people is speaking from their subconscious. Or if you're, following the training that I do, maybe even both people are working at a much deeper level of mind than the talk therapist is trained to stay in their conscious mind. They're trained to be like, according to, this theory, you have this type of attachment style, and that's why blah. And it's cool. It's great. But, but it's very, the conscious mind is closed. It's rigid. It already knows what it knows. So how can you learn what you don't know if you're already totally attached to what you think you know? You just can't. It's simple as that. Someone in the chat pot says that my words resonated perfectly. I'm so glad, Diana. And thank you for staying over time here. Again, you can find me at McLeanhypnotherapy.com. You can follow me on Instagram at gethypnotherapy. You can email me. I'm happy to chat with, I'm happy to do these things. I'm really grateful to you, Kevin, for offering this, for hosting this. I'm glad to stay and chat and be with anybody who wants to do some sharing or some chatting, but we're certainly over the hour mark, so nobody's held hostage. And I'm just grateful to share this space.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming, and thank you, Cassandra. This was really cool. Really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Cassandra, can I ask you a question? This is Petra. I'm just
Hi, Petra. Of course, yeah.
Oh, put my video on so you know I'm a real person.
Hi, thank you.
I am just in being trained to become a registered clinical hypnotherapist. I'll be done in January, so it's a full-time 1-year course because I want to do it right. I did lots of research on it. Do you have like, so far, again, I'm in the beginning stages, only been in for a couple months. Do we need to like kind of specialize in an area, or like when you put yourself out there working in it, is it best to kind of say that, your specialty is trauma, or your specialty is what you were saying, weight loss and tobacco cessation, like things like that? Like, is it better to do that, or can you kind of go into the broad range of it, or should you really specialize in something?
So I can only speak from my experience, what is working for me. When I first started my practice, I just wanted to do sessions with let's do a session. They said, and your training comes to a conclusion, you'll be kind of guinea pigging with friends and family. And I would say, I want to answer your question exactly as you asked it, but I also want to offer you a little bit more. So the short answer is you can choose to specialize, especially if you're planning on investing some money into advertising and marketing. In that case, if you're putting money behind it, okay, who's your audience? Not anybody with any problem. But so if you're putting money behind it, yes, choose a niche, and that way you're making sure you're targeting a demographic that's specifically going to resonate with what your offer is. But generally, like, I have some specializations. I specialize in working with people with very intense emotions because I can handle that, and I have found that not every professional can. When stuff's coming up from the unconscious, you're talking about trauma, it can really look and sound and feel like a full-on humongous breakdown. And you need to be able to hold space for that, because when somebody's in their subconscious mind, they are in an intuitive field. And even if you're on the other side of a Zoom screen 1,000 miles away and their eyes are closed and they're in trance, if you're like, I don't know what to do with this, they 100% feel that. And now they're just layering guilt and shame and embarrassment and fear into their already trauma experience. That's a problem. So, I'm like, I have to let people know, okay, I can really, I like when people are in their deepest, darkest stuff, because I'm like, I can help you. But I've never put money behind that in advertising and marketing. I just let people know that's my specialization. And I also work with people going through divorces, people going through major life transitions. I also specialize in working with children. I don't really put that behind it. I let that all filter through word of mouth. So I tend to just attract whoever is looking for hypnotherapy. I tend to attract the type of people who are like me, in that they've done a bunch of talk therapy. Maybe they're yogis, did breath work, did ayahuasca or something, but they're still just like, well, but why am I still suffering? I did all these things. Let me try your thing. And I'm like, how can we reverse this path in the field so that people don't have to already do all these things before they finally discover that hypnotherapy is the key ingredient that's going to make it all click? I haven't solved that problem yet, but but when I talk to clients, I let them know, okay, I can help you with that. And just so you know, these are my specializations. And if you know anybody in your life who has one of these things, I'm definitely going to be for them. But it's more of a word of mouth thing in my practice. I hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was. I work as an addictions counselor for Recovery Alberta, in Alberta, right? So we used to be AHS, so in Canada. And yeah, the talk therapy, because I work in an office, lots of psychologists, clinical social workers. What we're doing is, I'm not finding it very helpful. That's why I decided to get into this. I'm also a registered massage therapist too. So I like the body mind connection, right? That's why I'm very interested in it. So yeah, I'm just wanting to learn as much as I can. So I really appreciate your time, and thanks for Kevin for setting this up. And my instructor told me about the website where I got this advertisement from. So
and what website was that?
Oh, that's not a Facebook page. Sorry, it was a Facebook page I got that I saw the ad from, and I can't remember now.
What? That's probably Hypnotherapy.
She totally showed it.
There's like 40,000 people on there. That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then she just pointed out the one, and it was So then I just went on it and I started scrolling, and I found your advertisement. And I thought, this is something I need.
Yeah.
Because I need to describe this to my clients, because we do both, right? We do that's what I do for, that's what pays the mortgage. But I really feel I have a private business too, and my manager is going to probably let me do this to get started. So hopefully people don't have to like pay for it. So it comes out of their own pocket. So that's what I would love to make happen, right? That they can use their insurance for it.
I support you 100,000%. It sounds like, yes, specialize in the addiction thing. Hypnotherapy is really, really, really helpful for that. It sounds like you're in a great program. You're getting thorough training. The one thing I'll say with that, and you're in a center, so you've got all the resources, but I just feel called to share that if somebody's addiction was caused by this root cause thing, and it's not resolved at the root cause, but then I'll direct, so you're not interested in cocaine anymore. You lose all the interest. Then that root cause is like, oh, I can't go to the addiction. I have to now do something else equally or more self-destructive. So just be sure you're always getting to root cause and clearing it from the root.
Yes. Thank you very much, Cassandra.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Petra. Okay. Were there any other questions or sharing before we hop off?
I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that you've all stuck around to the end, that this has been valuable for you. And Lisa says that she specializes in sports enhancement for athletes. Cool. Very cool. Cool. Peak performance. I like it. Nice. Well, I'd love to connect with you all as colleagues. You can also find me on LinkedIn. It's nice that we have hypnotherapists present, and it's always good to support each other, to collaborate, to know what one another is up to. How can we help advance the field of hypnosis and hypnotherapy? That is my career mission statement, to move hypnosis and hypnotherapy further into the mainstream. That is my career mission. I want this more and more mainstream, so that by the time I'm an old lady, it's like, everybody and their mother just like I compare it to chiropractic. When I was a kid, it was like, chiropractor, what's that? Oh, what is it, witch doctor? And now it's just like, oh, everybody, oh yeah, chiropractic, I went to that. Oh yeah, after I want hypnosis and hypnotherapy to be on that same path, super in the mainstream within a few years, and certainly within 10. So let's connect. Find me on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. I'd love to know you all.
Well, thanks everybody for joining. Take it easy. So